Hey everyone, Brian C. Lesh here. Before the video begins proper, I wanted to apologize about the weird camera angle in it. See, as I said on TikTok and Instagram, if you didn't see that video, was basically I tried to go with multiple camera angles, and so I tried to use two cameras, thinking that in my editing software it'd be easy to put together. Turns out it was not easy to put together. I'm still having issues figuring out the software, or maybe it's just not as dynamic as I thought it was. That's probably not true. It probably is just as dynamic as I think it is. I just don't know how to use it. But anyway, try to use two cameras. The camera that was head-on for us is an action cam or a GoPro. And those things have wide angles. They have wide views. As a result, it looks like we're sitting like 20 feet away from the camera, and it just doesn't work real well. The camera that we had closer, however, at an angle is the camera that I'm actually using right now. It's despite the fact that it's at an angle and we're talking away from it, it actually works a lot better. You can see us a lot better, and it's just easier to see everything. So I wanted to apologize about that, about the weird camera angle, and let you guys know what was up so that would be explained. So yeah. Without further ado, here's the interview I did with my friend Mary. Hey everyone, Brian C. Lesh, the omni-genre writer here, as well as the INTJ extraordinaire. I am back with another MBTI interview. This time I'm here with my friend Mary, Mango
Hello.
Malicious Mary.
Hello.
She is an INFP, as we recently just discovered.
I am. And rediscovered.
Yes, rediscovered. For a little while there, we thought she was an ENFP. So, yeah, things are interesting there. Although when it comes to the NFPs, or at least when it comes to Mary, I've realized that things don't always go according to plan, and things are almost always up in the air.
Oh my.
Am
I that flaky?
Not flaky, just unpredictable.
Ah, there we go. I like that word.
Okay. So, give us a little bit of a background about you. What do you do? Who are you? That kinds of things.
I am an artiste. I work at a screen printing place. We do t-shirts. And I also have my own hobby studio here with all screen print inks behind us. Very fancy.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It's also full of, like, the Detroit aesthetic of, I don't know, like...
Grungy warehouse?
Yeah, grungy
warehouse.
Yeah.
Hey, I painted the floor so it wouldn't be so grungy.
Really? You painted this?
I did! You know you can use wall paint on your floor. Pro tip. Pro tip.
So, let me see here.
Yes.
So, you're an artist.
Mm-hmm. I would like to think so.
You like to think so. What's it like being an artist? How does it make you feel? What does it make you think?
Oh, it makes me feel sleepless. It makes me think neurotic ideas. I don't know.
Neurotic ideas or erratic?
I see what you did there. I was just at the Dirty Show. My friend Dana got in 2 pieces. I think I will do something erratic for the Dirty Show next year.
Dirty Show.
Yes.
Okay. So, you see a lot of sleepless nights. Is that common for you, outside of being an artist?
Oh, yes. Pure insomnia here. That's why I drink so many of these.
Okay. By the way, we're sponsored by Joe Rogan, apparently.
Kill Cliff Ignite. Try the spicy pineapple flavor.
Spicy pineapple.
That's his flavor.
Okay. So, being sleepless, that's typically an introverted trait. Do you feel yourself... Because as long as I've known you, you're generally kind of outgoing, or at least you've always been with me.
Thank you.
Now, I don't know if that's because you feel comfortable around me, or if that's just...
It depends. Depends on the person.
Okay.
Depends on the situation. Like at work. Very outgoing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how would you... Do you have any way of classifying when you feel outgoing? Or any patterns you've noticed as to what triggers your outgoingness, your extrovertedness?
Oh, I guess if people seem lost. I like to be outgoing with people who step in all afraid. I don't know what to do with my t-shirt. I'll be like, boo, I got you. I got you. Let's do it.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense for an INFP, with your dominant function being introvert feeling, which is a I feel bad for people type function.
I do. Aw.
Yeah.
Shouldn't feel bad for all the people. That's presumptuous.
So, let me see here. Tell us a little bit about some of your hobbies.
Ooh, hobbies. Let's see. Well, we have screen printing. We have marker art, as you can see on the wall. No one else can see. Digital art.
Oh, it's your face.
It is my face.
What are those, like small images of something else?
Just dots.
Oh, okay.
Just dots. It's like a Chuck Close.
Okay.
Oh, Fisher would be so mad at you.
I only had him for pottery.
I never did the Chuck Close with Fisher. It's where you do like different colored squares and dots, and then when you zoom out, it makes a picture.
Okay.
So I guess all my hobbies have to do with art, unless, adopting animals and taking care of them. That's a hobby, right?
Sort of.
Sort of.
I mean, animals and pets can definitely be hobby-ish.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, I took up roller skating.
Oh.
I did.
That's right, you did.
I'm terrible at it.
Oh.
I think I already sprained my ankle.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm clumsy, too. I don't know if that's an INFP trait, but it's one of mine.
You're clumsy? I've never known you to be clumsy.
Oh, on roller skates, for sure.
Well, because, other hobbies that you have, for instance, is, like motorcycling and kayaking.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. I do that.
So, I don't know, you and I have only been kayaking once, but
Yeah.
I've never noticed you, or I don't know
two
how.
up there.
Oh, yeah, so they are.
Yeah, I have kayaks in the ceiling.
So, I mean, I'm not sure you can exactly be clumsy doing kayaking, but
Well,
do you feel like awkward doing it sometimes, as
that's
far
a
as
lazy
like
sport.
movement goes?
No.
You feel at home in the water?
Of course.
How do you feel being on bikes and motorcycles?
Oh, totally at home. Been on a motorcycle since I was 5. Ooh.
And you got into that through your father, right?
Mm-hmm. Dad was like, this is a great idea. This child will have a motorcycle and will crash into bushes sometimes. It wasn't a great idea to my mother, but,
So, let me ask you this. How do you square away having an interest like in motorcycles and kayaks versus art? Like, do they...
Summer, winter.
Okay.
That's my summer thing. This is my winter thing. No, this is my summer thing, too, because no one needs a t-shirt in the winter. Tell me one person that needs a t-shirt in the winter. No.
Well, let me ask you this then. What part of like kayaking or motorcycling appeals to you? Or how do they appeal to you? What do you feel? What do you think when you're on a bike or in a kayak?
Ooh, definitely the adrenaline rush aspect.
Okay.
Yes, for sure that. Then being one with the water. I don't know. Kind of sounds hippie-ish, but I like it. Especially when it's storming and I'm still out on the water. Love that.
Really? You've been kayaking while it's been storming?
Yes. It's probably the best time to go because it's more action than you'd usually get just like lazy kayaking down the river.
Okay.
It picks up. It's great.
So...
Especially down the Clinton River.
Okay.
It's dangerous.
So, to some extent, you feel like motorcycling or kayaking allows you to maybe live your more active, dangerous side, or
The
experiences that?
ENFP side, right?
Sort of.
So we don't know. So the INFP side's ours, the ENFP side gets on the motorcycle.
Well, it's not technically how it works. For those of you who don't know, I mean, you guys saw my interview with Sherry. Sherry was very knowledgeable about MBTI. Mary doesn't know too much. She knows about her own personality.
I do.
But
It's just mine.
yeah.
Yes. And I'm a Gemini, so it makes sense that I have two Myers-Briggs personality types.
We are rewriting personality theory right now, in this moment.
And not that we were talking about that, because we're going into Chinese horoscopes, not
Oh, well, we can cover it. I brought that too.
we do have astrology. I didn't even notice that book.
It's okay.
Okay.
But, so what about art appeals to you?
What about art? Everything about art appeals to me. What doesn't appeal to you?
So, well, I mean, like, is it the science of art? Is it the art of art? Is it the
art of art.
Yeah.
Are you Andy Warhol? The art of art.
Yeah. Is there any such thing as, like, the dreaded art theory? The philosophy of art?
I guess there's color theory. No, I'm not into the philosophy of art or art for art's sake.
Okay.
Yes, no. No, just expressing myself.
Okay. Getting your inner world out onto paper.
Exactly.
Okay.
Very large paper.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge poster. I'll need to
10
take
foot.
one. Yeah, take one of the cameras and look at that. So, what was the question I was going to ask?
Oh, stumped you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, here's something we can... So, you used to play the saxophone, though.
I did. And piano.
Oh.
For 14 years.
Wow.
I know. I can play some chopsticks. Oh, yes.
So, how'd you get into playing sax?
Ooh, that was by force, actually.
Really?
We started having a band program. It's one of my electives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was this chick. You remember Jill? She was amazing at the piano. We only had one piano. Of course, she's gonna play the piano, because, hey, I would step down any day for Jill. She just rocks it. So I was like, okay, I need to pick something else, because we only have one piano. So I was like, yeah, give me the saxophone. It was on a whim.
Okay.
It was that, a baritone, or I think we had a tuba. So, yeah, woodwind instruments.
And what do you think of the sax compared to the piano?
Actually, I like it a bit better.
The sax? You like it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know, it's more rock and roll. I don't know. You can actually walk around with it as opposed to just being stuck in the chair.
Okay. So, what I'm hearing from you is that you definitely have a desire to wander, both in terms of like a mental way, like with your art, but also in a physical form, like with the kayaking, motorcycling, and walking around with your sax.
Oh, yes.
So, getting into sort of like a flow, I guess you could say, of having your body do something and letting your mind feel the rush of the experience.
Yes. Wow. Very astute.
Really?
Very astute.
Okay. That must be the INTJ's intuition coming through.
Oh, yes. Tell us about that. Tell us about your INTJ.
Oh, they know about being an INTJ. We're here to talk about you.
What makes you friends with an INFP?
That's a very interesting question.
Or an ENFP on some days.
Well, a lot of people who are in the audience will know that, will probably be well aware of the fact that INTJs and ENFPs are like the MBTI. I don't want to say Romeo and Juliet, but they're like a lot of people ship them and ship them super hard.
Like Star Wars? Raylo.
It's kind of.
Yes.
I mean, but the INTJ and ENFP relationship tends to make a little more sense, as opposed to Raylo. Let's not get into that.
I want to.
No, bad.
I like Raylo.
No, but so what people generally think of when they think of the INTJ ENFP relationship is that the INTJ offers the ENFP like structure and balance and the ability to like give her focus. An ENFP typically offers an INTJ like an outlet for their feelings, because INTJs tend to think their feelings, not really feel them. Which I kind of know what they mean by that. There have been times where I'm at work and I'm like, and I'll find myself in a very bad mood, and it'll take me a second before I'm like, oh, I'm in a bad mood. I should do something about that. And I have that kind of realization, and then I think about like, wait, why am I in a bad mood?
Because you're hangry. It's true. Go eat a Snickers.
But yeah, but one of the other things though that an ENFP offers an INTJ is like an outlet for affection.
Okay.
Something like that, or at least that's how I personally feel about it, because it's kind of, I'm not a touchy-feely person. It is kind of strange to me how some people are always kind of like, hey, good for you, hey, but I mean,
or the overslap.
Yeah,
the super slap.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. But I mean, one of the things that I appreciate about being friends with you is that it is kind of easy to be affectionate and, it's going to sound bad, but physical, without feeling out of place or uncomfortable with it.
I see.
I mean...
Yes. I let people be their authentic selves around me.
And that's another quality of having a VFI cognitive function.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's one of the things I enjoy about being around you. I can do this, and I don't feel awkward about it.
Exactly.
Other things I enjoy about being friends with you is, although you are sometimes late and pushing back plans, which I don't necessarily appreciate, it's always a good time being with you.
Excellent.
Doesn't matter like what we're doing. I mean, there was that one time we had plans to go get coffee, and you said, "Get in the car. We're going for a drink instead."
Yes.
Because you had a bad day. That time we went kayaking. That kind of came out of nowhere. You said, "Let's go to Stony Creek and go kayaking."
Yeah. I don't like planning. I just like improvising.
Yeah, there was one time you and Chuck were going to go kayaking, and that fell through because kayak rentals weren't open at Stony Creek yet.
Yeah.
And then somehow I got roped into your plans, and we hung out at your house.
Yeah.
So, even though it's very, what's what I'm looking for here?
Sporadic.
Impromptu, I guess. Spontaneous. Which is like a quality of any cognitive function. So even though it is very much like that, I still always enjoy my time with you.
Oh, hey, excellent.
Yeah, it's never usually a bad time.
See, never a bad time, people. Oh, yeah. So, if you're going to talk about astrology, ask me about my Gemini self.
Well, alright then, if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Well then, what's it like being a Gemini? What can you tell me that this book can't? Or what do you feel that it can...
Boy, I haven't even looked at this book. What does this book tell me? Hold on. Gemini at work. Here we go. Chatty, curious. Thought that said merciful. Nature of Gemini means they are best suited to careers that give them lots of opportunities to keep learning new information and meeting with lots of people. See, that sounds more ENFP.
Yeah, a bit.
Than INFP. Oh, I would make a good accountant. Or a project manager. Oh, or a radio or podcast host. Hey. Take over your job. This says I'm likable. Okay, I completely agree with everything in here. No, that says I'm likable.
Well, one of the other things, though, interesting things about astrology, is that, a lot of people tend to disagree with it, as you may know.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of people say that what's more important are the ascendant signs. The ascendant is, it's one of the signs that accompanies your sign based on what time of day you're born at.
Oh, I think I actually know this. I may have screenshot this. I think I have a moon in Sagittarius, right? And whatever the next one is, it's either in Capricorn or Taurus.
I'm not 100% sure. I can look it up real quick. Let me see here.
I'm pretty sure I screenshot it.
Astrology.
In prep for this, because you asked me when I was born, so I did the whole astrology cafe thing. It was somewhere.
What is this thing doing?
But
Okay, so Gemini, and you were born at 4:54.
4:54. Oh, there it is. Okay, I have my sun in Gemini, my moon in Sagittarius, my Mercury in Taurus, my Venus in Taurus, my Saturn in Capricorn.
Am I reading this right? That is the Gemini symbol, isn't it?
The two?
Yeah.
You.
Okay. So, according to this, or at least what I found here, is that it says your ascendant sign. I don't know about your sun or your moon, but your ascendant sign is again Gemini. So you're a Gemini and a Gemini.
Oh, double contradiction.
So a person who has a Gemini ascendant sign is highly social, but also the most chaotic. Can argue from both sides of any subject.
Most chaotic.
They can seem duplicitous.
I'm chaotic good, though.
Endlessly curious and witty and a joy to have around in a social environment. That's true.
Joy.
Their attention spans are short.
Yes. Very short.
It says here you're constantly fidgeting, but that hasn't been my experience.
You know what? I have been made fun of at work. I carry a fidget spinner with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm resisting. It's in my pocket. It's in my coat pocket. I am resisting fidgeting.
Huh. Supposed to have long artistic fingers.
Long fingers. Long. I don't know. I think I have short fingers.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Very good at multitasking.
Yes.
Although it may seem they are distracted, not listening, this isn't always the case.
I listen.
Yeah.
I just listen later.
So yeah, I mean that all seems pretty accurate to me.
Yes. Well, isn't that fun? But I see where people disagree, because then everyone born on certain days in June would be like me.
Yeah.
And just like this one, everyone born within the year of 1990 would be like me.
Yeah. It's actually, so I was going to say this for later, but so getting into the Chinese horoscope, for those of you who don't know, the whole point of bringing up astrology and the Chinese horoscope is to compare it to personality typing like the MBTI in a bid to further research into personality typing, as well as to see if the theory regarding astrology or the zodiac is accurate, I guess you could say. I have my own fanciful theory, that being that because every body in the galaxy exerts a gravitational pull on everything.
Uh-huh.
Like how the moon affects our tides, for instance.
Yes.
My theory is that if astrology and the zodiac are accurate, it might have something to do with the way the gravitational pull of other celestial bodies affect the human mind while it's developing within the womb.
Mm-hmm.
Or the womb juices.
The water.
The water, yeah.
Affects the tides, affects the water in us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So something like that.
And our most recent moon is a moon in Leo. That's all I know.
Okay.
That's all I know.
So let's get into the horse real quick here.
Mm.
So they start the section of the horse by saying, I am the kaleidoscope of the mind. I impart light, color, and perpetual motion.
Oh.
I think, I see, I am moved by electric fluidity. Constant only in my inconstancy. I am unshackled by mundane holds, unchecked by sturdy binding goals. I run unimpeded through virgin paths. My spirit unconquered, my soul forever free.
Yeah, forever free.
I am the horse.
Wow, that's a lot better than other horse descriptions I've heard. I've only heard that we are stubborn and popular.
Well, that's kind of true. I mean, there's this whole section on the horse here. Probably won't get through it all, but they talk about the horse being cheerful, popular, and quick-witted. Mm-hmm. Although it can be changeable.
Oh.
Or, yeah.
Can be.
Yeah.
Thought we can't be. Because we're stubborn, like horses.
Well.
This book says we can be. I have faith.
Hot-tempered, rash, and headstrong at times.
Yes.
There we go. Fall in love easily, and may fall out of love just as fast.
Ah. Yes. Very fickle. It's a curse.
Yeah, we can get into your relationships later if you want. I don't know if it's still a sore subject for you or not.
No, not
Okay.
at all.
Earthly and warmly appealing, he's very perceptive, talkative, and has raw sex appeal rather than straight good looks.
I could see that. Charisma
Yeah.
over beauty. Yes.
Well, I think you have a lot of both.
Thank you.
Noted for his love of sports, outdoor activities, and fondness for animals.
Fondness for animals, yes. Sport. Ugh. I am terrible at all sport, except for swimming. I'm a good swimmer.
How'd you get into swimming?
I decided, hey, there's a no contact sport. I don't have to be beat up or run. Especially that. I was like, I don't have to run. We just have to swim. I love swimming.
Yeah.
You know the first thing we did?
You ran?
We ran. We ran around the school like 8 times. I was like, I signed up for this because there would be no running.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to add a little context, one of the reasons why you might not be the fan of getting beat up all that much is because you're on the short side, the fun size side.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Mary is 5'1" and 1/8 of an inch.
Hey, I am 5'3" and 1/8 of an inch. And on my license it says 5'4".
Really?
Yes, because you can put anything you want on your license. You could put 5'9" on your license and give guys a complex. You could be like, well, I'm only 5'9".
You sure you're 5'3"? I thought you told me you're 5'1".
5'3".
That'd make more sense.
License doesn't lie.
Says the person who just told me to put 5'9" on mine.
You can. You absolutely can. Give everyone a complex. Brian is 6'5". Yes. So next time you overhear a guy at the bar being like, I'm 6 foot, you can walk right up to him and be like, look, I'm 5'9". Yes.
So
Chaotic good.
yeah. So related to your comment about how you don't like sport, there's a part in here saying that the horse person loves exercise, both mental and physical.
Not running.
Not running. But what about, like, exercise in general?
I mean, if it's something fun, like I will jump rope, I will skip it. Remember skip it?
Yeah.
I will hula hoop. I will not run. No.
Let me see here. Spot him by his swift but graceful body movements, his animated reflexes, and his rapid speech.
I don't feel like I'm that kind of a horse. Maybe a horse mixed with like a potato.
A horse mixed with a potato.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so this does say in here that horses can be stubborn and impulsive on the negative side.
Impulsive, yes. Negative, no. No. Never negative. Always seeing the positive in life.
Horse has a forgiving heart and forget grievances once his flaming temper has burned itself out.
Yes.
However, he is often forgetful, absent-minded, and given to jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, maybe. But we like to say, my mantra is never assume.
What? The horse firmly believes in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, chiefly his or her own.
Well, sounds very America.
Yeah, it does. America. He is not possessive, suspicious, or jealous.
No, because I mean, when you're like this, I mean, you don't have anything to be jealous of. I'm a unique little butterfly. No one's like me.
Selfishness rarely extends to the monetary or material side of life. Now, I've known you to not be all that into the monetary thing, not being into money all that much.
No.
I mean, you definitely have a job and you have like a side hustle.
I do. Very messy side hustle.
Yeah. So, what drove you to get into t-shirt printing then, if it wasn't money or entrepreneurial or pursuits or anything like that?
Oh, just the art of it.
Just the art of it.
Yeah, it's fun making screens, making designs, making people happy with your designs. And it's so fun to see people who are excited, like they just got their own brand, and it's not anything to do with t-shirts. They're like, my bakery is going to be amazing because we do spicy pineapple cookies. So you make them a spicy pineapple bakery t-shirt, and then they're just happy as a clam.
Okay.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
Yeah. Another note is, back when I asked you to do a book cover for me.
Yes, I did it.
Yes, you did, but
you didn't like it. And you hired someone else.
Not for that book, not yet.
Oh.
I've decided to rewrite it, so.
It looked very professional.
Yeah, for the most part it did. Mm-hmm. But I mean, one of the things though I wanted to mention about it was that I wanted to pay you for it to get more along with like what I was looking for, and you.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, you do.
Yeah, you refused. You rejected me, and I was like, what is happening here? This is so weird.
No, this is my art. You use it if you like it.
Yeah. So.
I'm not redoing it because that was my vision.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I could try and redo it, but it's probably not going to look like how you want it to look like.
Yeah, when it comes to a particular story, I am very guarded and defensive of what I want certain things looking like. Of course, it was the first book I ever actually tried writing.
Ah, it's his baby.
Yeah.
It's his baby.
Let's see.
Just put it on the back burner. One day you could publish a book of failed covers you have people do for you. It's like, look at all this art.
So here's something that I think matches you somewhat well.
Oh.
Horse keeps odd hours, unable to stick to a schedule,
Yes.
not of his own making, and has lack of respect for standard procedures.
Yes. I work on flex time.
When an idea strikes him, he will work around the clock without eating or sleeping.
True.
Then when things are slow, he may take a day off to pursue something more interesting.
Yes.
A horse always needs a stimulating job in order to display his competence and to provide the challenge he craves.
Yes. It's exactly me. I will take the day off to go kayaking. Even if we're not slow. And yesterday I got into work at 11. But day before I got into work at like 7. So, I mean... It just depends.
You walked in at 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
Huh. They didn't have an issue with that?
No, no one does. Like I said, I'm on graphic artist flex time, which is she might be here, she might not be here, she might be here, and she might be here until midnight.
Interesting.
We don't know.
So, in matters of the heart, the horse can be a fickle soul. If he cannot be with the one he loves, then why not love the one he is with?
Love the one you're with. I feel like that's a song.
Anyhow, there will be little harm in flirtations. Long drawn-out entanglements do not appeal to him. Despite all this, the animated and affable horse is said to be very susceptible to the perils of love. Consequently, he may have many affairs that end unhappily, or several marriages and divorces.
Ooh.
Horses should be encouraged to wait until they are more mature before getting married. So, do you want to talk about this now?
Sure.
So, as long as I've known you, you've had a few relationships. Some of them didn't really end up very well.
No, but I mean, I think everyone after realizes how much of an angel I am.
Really, they come back?
I've had a few come back and be like, "Hey, girl, hey, what you doing? Can we do this again?" Like, no.
Because you've said to me that you've had a number of boyfriends who've cheated on you.
Yes.
Now, so and I hate to mention this because I don't want to make it feel like I'm putting you down or insulting you.
No, not at all.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Well, not that part,
Now
but what I'm going to say
curious.
next. But so some people say, if the common denominator in a person always having a lot of bad relationships is that person themselves.
Yes.
So
No, I totally agree.
okay. So then, what do you suppose is the reason behind you dating a lot of cheaters? You just not date well or choose well, or do you think there's something wrong with like the men of Michigan?
The men of Michigan. I know you mentioned your sister thinks there's something wrong with the men of Michigan, but
Yeah.
no, I think, like one of these books said, I am not jealous or possessive, so I just let people go free and do their own thing. I guess I just don't check up enough on them because, well, who knows who's with who when you're not with them. So,
because I did briefly Google this, like why people cheat, and they said that sometimes if they don't feel strong enough emotional attachment, that might cause them to wander.
Yes. I have been told. I'm quite lacking in emotion in relationships, so I am somewhat unaffectionate and robotic.
Really?
I guess. I've been told that 3 times.
If you're robotic, then I must be a friggin' automaton. Because you're one of the warmest people I know.
Thank you. I think so. I mean, I think I try and make people happy, but I guess I don't know. I'll have to look inward to see why that's not enough for some people.
Well, it might be. It could be the introverted thing. Maybe you're dating a lot of extroverts who need maybe a little more emotional reassurance.
Oh, you know what? I have a theory. Since I'm a Gemini and I'm an INFP / ENFP, sometimes when I take the test, maybe when I first meet people, I throw out my extrovertedness, right?
Right.
And as I become comfortable with them, the introvertedness seeps in, and they're like, "Hey, this chick was extroverted. Now she's boring. What the heck?"
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
I can see that.
Because, so our personality types,
Yes.
our dominant functions are both introverted.
Yes.
As a result, that can lead to mistyping because our auxiliary functions are both extroverted. So yours is NE, mine is TE. So as a result, people will think of us being somewhat different than what we actually are. They'll get the wrong first impression.
Okay.
So, an INTJ, for instance, having extroverted thinking as their auxiliary function means that they tend to be very rational, very logical, almost to the point of being jerks about it.
Ah.
And as a result, they don't see NI, their dominant function, which makes them a little more mystical.
So, mystical or stuck up? So, do you come off as stuck up?
To some people, I do.
Okay. Or is it an air of mystery?
It depends, because I did ask someone in the comments of Instagram recently what it was that they liked about INTJs, and she said that they were mysterious.
Okay. I dig it.
I mean, yeah, because they are...
Mysterious stuck-up jerk, potentially, on first glance.
Yeah, like what's his name, Mr. Darcy or whatever.
Ah, yes.
What was your impression of me the first time you met me?
Tall and, hey, you came from a new school, let's talk.
Yeah, so to add a little context to that, you guys, my first high school was Notre Dame High School in Harper Woods. It got closed down in 2005 by the Cardinals.
To the ground.
No, it was not burned to the ground. We fought to keep it open. We didn't survive. We didn't do that.
No survivors.
So we had to transfer out, and myself and a lot of guys went to Notre Dame. Notre Dame was all guys school. We transferred over to Bishop Foley in Madison Heights, which was co-ed. And we didn't necessarily go peaceably, or we didn't go...
Oh, you weren't happy about it.
Yeah, we were not. Although, to be fair, most of the people that got in our way and wanted us to get over it were the teachers and the administration. You guys, the students, were very warm and very welcoming and very forgiving, despite our crappy attitude.
Right. I remember thinking, oh, this is fun. He's not happy about it. He will be happy about it.
Yes.
At one point. But it was funny,
Yeah, it was rather interesting. I remember a few days before my senior year, I was actually looking forward to it, but I didn't know I was looking forward to it. It was a very strange sort of feeling.
Really?
Yeah. And then, towards the end of senior year, I was like, crap, I actually like being here. I don't want to leave. And it took me so long to realize that, and I was like, I really shouldn't have had my head so far up my butt. This was a good time. I kind of want to stay and make some more memories and, leave a good impression on people.
You had an ego death. I love it.
I guess so.
Yes.
So, our first meeting was, I guess that was our first meeting. We had a class together, Advanced Placement European History.
Yes, Mr. Belinsky, who was a mom.
Well, yeah, he was.
He would flog us with a wet noodle.
Occasionally.
And tell us to bite our tongue real hard.
He wants to see blood.
He does want to see blood.
But I sat on one side of the classroom, and then you sat on the other side of the classroom. You and I didn't have a whole lot of interaction. By the way, Mary is a year younger than me.
I am.
So she was class of 2008, I was class of 2007.
Yes, but I take advanced classes, because I don't know why. I went to art school, it didn't matter.
Did you ever take the AP Euro test?
I did.
Oh, really? What'd you get on it?
I want to say A-.
That test is graded on a 5-point scale.
Oh.
So it's 3 is pass and 5 is perfect.
Oh, God. I don't know then. Because I just remember... I remember the minus part of the AP Euro, that I was a perfect A, or just a regular A. I was a minus A. Just in the class in general.
Okay.
And I was just like, Mr. Walensky, why? why give me the minus?
I think you did better than me, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't remember what I got, but...
I hated the minus.
Oh. But anyway, I realized that, like, the first time you and I interacted was second semester. Mm-hmm. We were in the computer lab, and we were doing some sort of worksheet that I think Mr. Vlinsky left because he wasn't there that day. But instructions were we could work together with other people if we wanted to.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I'm gonna work alone because that's my MO.
Yeah.
And I started doing the worksheet, looked at how much time we had left in the class, and I was like, oh crap, I'm not going to finish this in time. You were sitting right next to me, and I looked over at you and I said, hey, you want to work on this? And you said, sure. And I was shocked.
You were shocked?
Yeah.
Of course I want to work with people. Jeez.
And that was our real first interaction, and from there we've built a friendship since then.
A whole, is it 15 years?
Close to. I mean, if you want to count from 2005 or 2006 when we met. It's 2022, so...
Math. I went to art school. You do it.
I mean, if we're counting from 2005 when we met, then it'd be 17 years, I think.
Oh, hey.
But if you want to count it from, like, that first time we interacted, 2006, 16 years, but you and I didn't really start hanging out until after you graduated, so maybe 14 years then? Or 15 years?
Okay, we'll call it 15.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, so...
Hey everyone, Brian Lesh here. I just wanted to take a moment to tell you all about my t-shirts as well as my books. My t-shirt business is called Transcendent Tees, and it's all about making inspirational t-shirts or t-shirts with inspirational messages. You can check it out at transcendenttees.store. I have a lot of designs to choose from, and they're not just restricted to t-shirts. I also have a lot of posters and stickers, and there are a couple designs that are only posters or stickers. Anyway, as far as my books go, I currently have 3 books that are self-published. They're all available on Amazon. Count them up. 1, 2, 3. They are Tales of Romance, Unlikely Lovers, which is a romance anthology, Tales of Horror, Macabre Monsters of Michigan, which is a horror anthology, and then Timeless, Fairy Tales for the Ages, which is a fairy tale anthology. All 3 titles are available in ebook, paperback, and hardcover format. You can find them at the link below.
Let me ask you this. What was your impression of me when we started hanging out, if you remember?
The radio voice.
The radio voice.
Radio voice. Always. And... I don't know. Just someone who needed to be pulled out of their shell a little bit into the chaos. Just, like, come on, have a good time. Loosen up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way about me?
Sometimes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Just want to slap the fun into you.
Okay. So then, moving on to your relationships then, because we were originally talking about that.
Yes, we were.
So,
and why they don't work out.
Yeah. So, you got out of a real messy one recently. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you met a guy that you thought was an INFP who was a Marine vet.
Same blood type. Who knew? Good for kidney donating.
And so what happened there was that you decided he needed a place to live. You didn't want to have a guy living in your apartment that you weren't
married to.
Yeah, married to. So you went ahead and married him.
Yes.
Civilly, though.
Yeah, shotgun wedding.
Yeah. So.
Well, not really, because no one was pregnant. I didn't get him pregnant. No.
But then, it started to fall apart, and it had a rather messy ending.
Yes. Well, we did move in at the beginning of COVID, so that was like a lot of time spent with each other, with neither of us working. Because I think I came back to work in June. He went back to work in May, and COVID started, March?
Yeah, March.
So yeah, that was a long time. I think a lot of people who got married in that time frame that had to spend a ton of time with their new spouses got divorced. I want to say, I know there's a statistic out there, I don't know it, but of how many COVID marriages worked out. And I think it was less than half.
Okay.
Because the marriage rate's 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
This one might be 60-40, I don't know.
So, what do you think contributed to the downfall of this particular relationship? Do you think it was just that it was too rushed and you didn't know him that well enough?
That, but I don't know. I feel like anyone can make it work if it just takes two people who want to make it work,
Okay, so then in that case then, do you feel like he didn't want to make it work? Or were you more the one that was a little flighty about it?
No, I was all in.
Okay.
But I feel like what we previously talked about, like maybe I meet people, I'm very extroverted, and he had a different opinion of me than, months into it, year into it, like, oh, hey, this chick is, really motivated to do anything, can make me tons of money as I sit back and, and she will cook me amazing dinners, which I cook really weird dinners, and I get bursts of inspiration that then lead to money making. But if I'm a sad panda, I'm not very prosperous. So I think that was more of it. I think, and this is my trigger word, lazy. I am not lazy. I do things on my own time, just like work. If I'm the last one there, I'm the last one to leave.
So in that way, you're kind of like Gandalf.
I love this.
Yeah, you're not exactly. You're never late. You're not early. You arrive exactly when you mean to.
Yes.
And that's how it comes to when it comes to like work, as well as you think somewhat with relationships.
Yes.
Or okay.
Oh my goodness, I'm a wizard. I love it.
So you think that you gave off the wrong impression over time? He learned the truth and wasn't as happy about it, or
exactly.
Okay. So although you said something very interesting there, where you were like, where he had the impression that you would cook amazing dinners and also make him money. Do you think that maybe he was the lazy one?
When we say things to other people, we are actually talking about ourselves sometimes.
As far as criticism goes?
Yeah. Yes, as far as criticism goes. So perhaps, but I don't think he... It might take years for him to have that, like, little...
Epiphany,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I do remember the lentil soup argument.
Yes.
Which was such a strange thing to me, to add context. So, you went out with a friend.
I did.
You texted, because this was when the relationship was already starting to fall apart. You texted him and said, hey, do you want me to pick you up anything while I'm out? He said, make me lentil soup. So you bought some soup.
I did.
Brought it home. Now, credit where credit's due. You did try to improve it.
I did. I really did.
He came out of wherever he was hiding from, found the bag, said, what a betrayal, what are you doing to me? And he picked a fight.
He did. It was a brutal fight. That was the last time I saw my husband.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
That was in October.
Okay. So, because the thing that, like, I still can't get over that fight, because here's the thing. The relationship's already falling apart. And he's going to pick a fight over something very small. And, like, even the fact that he said, make me lentil soup, it's like you're making this demand of a person who... It's already like your marriage is already coming to an end, and you're going to make that sort of demand of that person?
Yes.
Rather than trying to make the exit easier or a little more or less stressful, you're gonna make it more stressful. You're gonna act like a child, be demanding about it.
I like how you describe this. This is good.
Because I don't, like... I mean, maybe it's just because I'm a little more well-versed in your personality, in the way you do things, but, I mean, I don't think I would ever say to you, hey, make me lentil soup. Especially if you're offering, can I get you something while I'm out?
Yeah. Exactly.
So, it's just, oh my gosh, it just blows me away what he did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And on top of it, it's completely beat because Rena and I had a last-minute wedding that was like practically in Indiana, where we drove down to it, where their photographers canceled, and we were at a campground. This is an amazing idea for a wedding, by the way, so none of your guests have to ever leave after drinking.
Another little bit of context, Mary also photographs on the side.
I do weddings. So, night before, we were at a campground wedding. How innovative is that? My first campground wedding. And oh my gosh, we were there until like 3 in the morning. Or at least, driving home until 3 in the morning. So, I mean, it's like, geez, I have this, my job, and that job. And have to cook on top of that? What? I will, but I'd rather get something out at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something out, you mean like productively, or do you mean something out of the relationship?
No, something out like Tim Hortons or
Oh, okay.
Panera.
Okay.
Just saying.
So, do you feel, let me ask you this, did you ever feel validated in a relationship? Ever appreciated? Anything like that?
Brief spurts of appreciation, like if, like how I was saying when someone gets a t-shirt for the first time and they're like, ooh, that's my company. I would feel appreciated when I like made a website for the first time, or made like an advertisement for the first time, or made some apparel, newly screen printed apparel, or got into like a show to sell things.
So, do you think then his appreciation and validation or love of you was given more out on like an achievement basis?
Achievement basis, more like money making basis.
Okay, so he never loved you for you.
Probably not. Probably just whatever his idea of me was.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. They fall in love with an idea rather than the person themselves.
Yes, it's sad.
And then after that, there was that guy with the face tattoo, which, I mean, you didn't really get involved with.
Oh.
Or did you?
Actually, there's a picture of him right over there.
Okay.
Ta-da! No, we are casually dating. Very slowly, casually.
Oh.
Might go see a movie next week.
At
a snail's pace. I feel like that's how I want to continue relationships at this point. Like, I will see you once a month, and we will do something fun. Because other than that, I have a lot of stuff to do.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of stuff to get together.
So, then you feel that way about relationships because you just have so much on your plate, or is that just your preferred pace at moving through a relationship?
I think now it is. Now I feel like, I don't know. I'm coming into my own power. I feel like I am probably the most eligible bachelorette I know. And if anything, I should acquire a wife, not someone should acquire me. You know? Someone who has their own job, car, studio, hobbies. It's really, this year is really a year to focus on myself.
I was just thinking, so you don't want to feel like a prize
No.
But you don't want to be won over either? Or do you?
If someone can come into my life and add equally to it and have their own separate thing going on, because I won't be responsible for anybody else's happiness but my own.
Okay.
So, if they got all this going on, and then they're like, hey, you also want to go to a movie because we would both really like to see this, I'll go with them, you know? You know? It's you gotta have your own life, add joy to my life, but, you know, the responsibility, I'm setting that aside for now. I'm not going to be responsible for making anybody happy.
Do you feel that's a mistake you've made in the past in relationships?
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. I tend to pamper people.
Really?
I do.
Oh, well, you bought me this energy drink, so yeah, I guess I can see that.
Besides that, I like gifting extravagant gifts. I like planning or impromptu planning extravagant days. Yeah, I think I've reached a point of no more. No more. It's the year of the horse.
Okay.
Not the year of the tiger. I hear it's the year of the water tiger, though. That's fancy.
So then,
Yes.
did you want to move on to the fact you're a metal horse?
I am a metal horse.
Rock on.
What does my element bring to the table? Harshness?
Oh, well, a popular but unruly type of horse, demonstrative, impetuous, and bold.
Ooh.
Will be a most engaging personality, highly amorous and very appealing to the opposite sex. Extremely productive when in a positive mood. It'll be difficult keeping up with him as he seems to be everywhere at the same time.
Hey.
Blessed with strong recuperative powers, the metal horse is never taken out of action for long. It's constantly seeking excitement and climbing to breathtaking heights. More stubborn, more self-centered than the other horses. He may be a proverbially bubbling stream overflowing with brilliant ideas, but he is not a consistent administrator. If his work provides no satisfaction, no motivation, no rewarding stimulation, he'll become irresolute and irresponsible. He cannot exist on a diet of daily routine, nor can he function with someone glancing over his shoulder. He thirsts constantly for new experiences and challenges. When he is negative, he'll have an irrational need for liberty and be unable to establish deep personal involvements. For fear, they may curtail his freedom or take up all his time. But when he is positive, he'll race to the finish, leaving others lagging far behind.
Okay.
That was all they wrote on the metal horse. But
Okay.
what do you think of it?
So is the metal horse supposed to be like a I'm all for me type of character?
I didn't necessarily get that from reading it.
Leave others in my dust.
But, I mean, so you came away with a negative reading of that.
I did. It sounded like the metal horse is the more harsh of the horses.
I mean, some of the things in here, they do seem to describe you, such as, the fact that you don't really have a daily routine, for instance.
I don't. I'm a wizard.
And like you said, you're productive at times, and
Very productive.
yes.
In bursts of energy.
So I mean that fit. How do you feel about thirsting constantly for new experiences and challenges?
I could use some of that. Are you getting too warm?
No, I'm getting too cold.
You're getting too cold.
My legs are cold.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Thirsting for new experiences and challenges. I feel... How do I feel about that? I feel like I'm striving for it. I feel like I need to do some spring cleaning first before we accept any new experiences and challenges.
Okay. So you want to get rid of some old stuff before you take on some new stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, because you and I have made have kind of made plans for the summer.
Yes. Lots of motorcycle road trips and kayaking.
I don't know about road trips per
Road
se.
trip. We're going to the zoo. In
okay.
Ohio.
Oh man.
All the way there. Where your bike came from? Where did it come from up north?
It came from Wisconsin.
We'll go over there. We'll take the ferry.
But one of the things that I mentioned to you a few weeks ago was jet skiing.
Yes, I would love to do that. Definitely that, and the hydro backpack thing. I have a customer that does those hydro backpacks. You strap it on, and you can float on the water.
Oh. Okay.
Very thrilling.
So you want to talk about the ascendant then of your horse?
Ooh, what's the ascendant of my horse?
So you were born at 6 minutes before 5 a.m.?
Yes.
4:54?
Yes.
Yeah, so the hours of between 3 and 5 a.m., that's the hours of the tiger.
Aw, my dad's a tiger. Aw, your dad.
So, according to the book, this is a good combination of daring and skill. The tiger provides the daring, the horse the ability to steer clear of trouble. Now, if only the doubting tiger would follow the horse's uncannily accurate hunches. A horse with this ascendant is colorful, exciting, and very adventurous. He or she will never let the grass grow beneath his or her feet. Idealistic, extroverted, and passionate, you can count on this person to blaze a path to his dreams.
Ooh. Didn't know I had this. Ascendant or descendant?
Ascendant.
Ascendant. And a tiger.
I don't think there is a descendant.
A descendant.
Yeah.
I have descendants. No, I don't yet. Well, that's fun. I should have an ascendant in the tiger.
But how do you feel about that description? Does it match you, or...?
Read it again.
Oh, jeez.
Or let me read it.
Okay.
I was thinking about dessert.
Desserts?
Daring and skill. Agreed. Although, daring and skill, I feel sometimes I contradict that with clumsiness and procrastination. Steering clear of trouble, too. I don't know. I like to jump into things. Like I saw a fight happening, or like a kind of a domestic situation happening in our parking lot, and my screen printer at my work told me, Mary, don't you dare insert yourself into things like this, because I'm going to have to come out and beat up somebody because of you and go to jail. And I was like, I will absolutely every time step in. So I don't necessarily steer clear of trouble, so I don't think I agree with that.
Sounds like a true to your FI function.
Right. I do have accurate hunches, I think, but I don't like to assume anymore. So.
Yeah, I get that.
Colorful, exciting, and very adventurous. I am colorful. I don't know if I'm exciting. I am adventurous at times. Never let the grass grow beneath her feet. Idealistic, extroverted, and passionate. can count on this person to blaze a path to her dreams. Okay, so disagree with the first half, agree with the second half. Blaze of glory and such.
Okay, let me ask. Okay, so another thing that they do in this book is they match up your Chinese zodiac sign with your astrological sign.
Really?
Yeah. So the Gemini horse.
I'm the Gemini horse. What am I like?
In this combustible and highly inconsistent combination, the twins' love of chameleon changes plus the horse's penchant for constant mobility are combined to the highest degree possible. The Gemini horse is supremely capable in his lightning-fast reflexes. With this wit around, there will never be a dull moment. He moves at breakneck speed, covering a lot of ground, but never going deeper than the surface. Quickly infatuated, perhaps just as fast to lose interest, this solar-lunar mixture personifies Mercury incarnate.
Ooh, Mercury incarnate. Mercury is a god of war?
No.
No, that's not Mercury?
Mercury is the Roman version of Hermes.
Hermes. Oh, are we out of battery?
I don't know.
It sounded like I'm out of battery.
No, we got fine. We're fine on battery. I don't know why I did that.
Maybe it was all the banging in the background.
Maybe.
Oh, it continues.
No, but yeah, Mercury is the Roman version of Hermes.
Oh. Who's the god of war? Saturn? Jupiter.
No. It's Mars.
Oh, it's...
You know, Aries, for heaven's sakes.
Oh, God. Okay. Wait, what planet am I?
Mercury.
Mercury? Okay. So I'm Hermes.
Yeah.
So I bring messages?
Kind of.
Kind of?
Mercury, Hermes kind of acted like a little bit like a psychopomp, a trickster type entity.
Ah. Huh. I'm a trickster. Just like the bass that's going on.
Yeah, it is a little distracting.
Sounds from the deep. Where's Gandalf?
Yeah. You want to know what they have to say about your season?
Yes, what's my season? The season of love?
Well, yeah, but I mean, so, you know, you were born in June.
Yeah. So,
well, I don't know, that's interesting. Do they separate the seasons like we do? So that might be... I don't know. Because the first day of summer is June 21st. And you're born June 8th.
So am I a spring?
Well, let's read both. So spring horses are loved for their spontaneity and sunny dispositions. Those born during the day tend to be more active, involved, and outspoken. They're also likely to be more open, friendly, and realistic. In spring, horses are bound to get more exercise than in winter. And because grass and food are abundant, they will get a good start in life. However, they may tend to be the most impatient of all horses because they are so active, lively, and have a great love for the outdoors and sports. They should be careful not to get distracted and thus lose their focus and commitment. It would be wise for spring horses to check out every option before making any decisions. They need people to rein in their excitable natures and help them appreciate all aspects of a problem before they rush out to fix it.
What does summer horse say?
The summer horse is self-assured and will hate to take no for an answer, nor will he accept defeat easily. He has few fears in life and will meet challenges head-on. Competitive by nature and blessed with tremendous energy, this horse tends to bite off more than he can chew. Self-indulgent at times, the intelligent horse has trouble keeping a tight hold on his purse strings and tends to overspend without a thought for tomorrow. Usually successful in their undertakings, the horses of summer must learn moderation and caution. Although they tend to be more emotional and headstrong than other horses, they are also well known for their generosity and uncanny ability to predict new trends.
I'm going to say I'm a spring horse. Although, I could be a cusp horse. I could have traits of both.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Would you like to know about the famous people who are metal horses?
Ooh, is it Jimi Hendrix? No, he was a water horse.
He's not on either of these lists for the water or the metal horse.
Oh my goodness. Do they have more recent people then?
They have recent people. So, metal horses include Neil Armstrong, Sean Connery, Clint Eastwood,
Ooh.
Jennifer Lawrence,
Okay.
Vladimir Lenin,
Okay.
Margot Robbie,
Hey, I like her.
Kristen Stewart,
Okay.
and Emma Watson.
And Emma Watson. Hey. Okay. Okay. I like to be on that list. It's a pretty good list.
So then, what do you think then as far as Chinese horoscopes versus astrology? Which one do you think is more accurate? Although I know that there's a lot more information for the Chinese than there was for the...
I don't know. I'm still thinking the astrology.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
And what do you think of the personality typing done through here versus through the MBTI? Which one do you think is more accurate?
Through the Chinese horoscope or the MBTI? Definitely Myers-Briggs.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I fully agree with the Chinese horoscope.
Okay.
It just doesn't sound as much like me as Myers-Briggs or just the astrology.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Hey.
let's take out the 16 Personalities book by Dr. A.J. Drenth. There we go. Jeez.
AJ who?
Drenth.
Drenth?
Yep.
Drenth.
Yes.
Drenth.
So, because let's just go through it a little bit, just a little tiny bit. So, INFPs.
Mm-hmm.
So, it makes up about 5% of the general population.
Mm-hmm.
Described as seekers. They want to understand who they are and their purpose in the world. Curious and restless, they enjoy entertaining new ideas and possibilities.
Uh-huh.
They are rarely content with what is, preferring instead to focus their sights on what could be. This, combined with their strong idealism, can engender a sort of grass is greener mentality.
Okay.
They are among the most open-minded and open-hearted of the personality types. While not to the same extent as ENFPs, they often bring an experimental attitude to life as they explore a variety of ideas, lifestyles, and experiences. In each new experience, INFPs see an opportunity to not only learn about the world, but about themselves and their life's purpose. Their curiosity about the world, including its potential role in clarifying their identity, can inspire INFPs to travel or adopt a peripatetic lifestyle.
Peripatetic.
Yeah.
Peripatetic. Is that like a parsnip?
No, probably not.
Sounds like a potato.
They may, for instance, choose to explore other cultures, live out of a vehicle, or take to the woods. As long as these sorts of explorations feel stimulating and life-giving, INFPs will continue to explore them, even amid pressures to embrace a more conventional path.
Ooh, I agree with that. I was thinking about the van life. I looked up customizations.
Let me see.
Of course, I'd keep my studio, because who's going to put that in a van?
Let's see. INFPs seek a life of passion and intensity. They want to know what it means to be fully alive and how they might cultivate a rich and abundant life.
Oh, hey.
Which, goes along with what you told me about motorcycling.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
INFPs seek impetus. INFPs' seeking impetus is informed and perpetuated by their critical observations of society and culture. They often see themselves as characteristically different from or at odds with their surrounding culture, sometimes feeling like outsiders or misfits. They can be wary of conventional wisdom and societal prescriptions, preferring instead to forge their own unique path.
Okay. Yes.
Again, amassing wealth and material goods is rarely high on their priority list. Money is valued to the extent that it furnishes the time and freedom that they need to explore their deepest passions. So we covered that. As INFPs proceed in their search for self, they eventually stumble into something that deeply moves or inspires them. They even feel they've finally found what they've finally found what they have been looking for. but more often than not, their enthusiasm is short-lived once the novelty of their new discovery has worn off. Over time, this can become frustrating or demoralizing for them, since they are so desperate, because they so desperately want to find themselves. They don't want to remain seekers forever. They want to know their. That's probably a typo. They want to know their mission in life.
Ooh,
They want
a typo.
They want their seeking efforts to culminate in a sense of conviction and direction for their lives.
Dr. Drenth, you have a typo. On page 95.
Yeah. That said, it would be wrong to pretend that INFPs don't also find the seeker's journey deeply meaningful and enjoyable. Whether they admit it or not, their seeking is at least as much about the journey as it is the destination. But it's also true that they wouldn't be seeking, at least not with such vigor and zeal, without an anticipated payoff. Hence, they may resist notions like just relax and enjoy the journey, because the imagined destination, that ever-elusive holy grail, imbues their actions with greater meaning, urgency, and intensity.
Ooh, ever-elusive holy grail. We're jumping movies.
INFPs can be drawn to all sorts of creative endeavors: film, photography, poetry, music, theater, fiction writing, the fine arts, and so on. They opt for careers that inspire their inferior function, extroverted thinking, such as science, computers, engineering, law, economics, etc. Regardless of how they start their career journey, many will continue to function as seekers for years, even decades, most inspired when working on their personal projects, which allow them to pursue their own interests with full freedom and authenticity.
Yes.
Many will dabble in freelancing,
Yes.
while dreaming of the time when they can cut ties with their day job and pursue their passion on a full-time basis.
Yes. It's the retirement plan. I mean, my boss is probably going to go to Italy when he's 70. He might be almost 60. I don't know.
So, let me see. There's a brief... I don't want to read all of this. Well, according to the shock, integration often occurs when functional self is consistent. So, what did you think of that?
I like the ever-elusive Holy Grail, and I'm very disappointed in the typo. Very.
But what did you think of the description, though? Did it describe you well, or...?
I'm thinking. I'm just going to fully support the astrology description.
Really?
Yes.
So
Yes.
maybe you are an ENFP instead.
Ooh, let's read that. And let's hope there's no typo.
137. Because the way we deciphered... The reason why we chose INFP over ENFP is because I read the descriptions for the cognitive functions, and you gave NE a 10 out of 10, and you gave FI a 11 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
Now, so I've taken a couple of personality tests. One of them was Keys to Cognition. And Keys to Cognition originally called me an INFJ or an INFP because I rated a certain question very high. That question was dealing with FI, the moral function.
Okay.
The one that says, that says knowing what is important to me is very important to me. And, knowing my own ethics and so forth. And I think that was throwing off the results because the questions dealing with NI and TE I didn't rate as high. But it would make sense to me, though, for a person to rate, what is important to them as being important to them.
Yes.
Because it's important to them.
Yes.
So, I can see why there's, why a person might might stress so much importance on FI. And that might be why so many people might be mistyped on certain platforms.
It's important, and that's why it's important.
Yeah. Okay. So, ENFPs.
Ooh.
ENFPs are enthusiastic, realistic, restless, and open-minded. They are among the most versatile of all types, working well with both people and ideas.
Nice.
As extroverts, they are not opposed to action, while as intuitives, they are not opposed to reflection. In this sense, ENFPs represent a sort of hybrid between introverts and extroverts. That is true. They are known as the most introverted of the extroverts.
Oh, hey.
They are novelty seekers. They are constantly scanning for new and interesting people, ideas, and possibilities. That's what I wanted to ask you about your relationships. Do you feel like you sometimes date a person just because they are interesting? More so than whether...
They're novel.
Yeah, so you look more. So do you feel sometimes, because I mean, nobody wants to end up with someone that's boring.
No, not at all.
But do you sometimes feel that you stress that a little too much over whether or not it would be a good relationship or a stable relationship?
Ooh, yes, distracted by shiny things like, ooh, you seem interesting. Let's go out.
Okay, so let me see here. They are constant. I read that. Like INFPs, they enjoy abstract as well as more experiential forms of learning. While seeking success in their careers and personal development, ENFPs generally take life less seriously than IP or EJ types.
Yes.
At the end of the day, ENFPs want to have fun
Yes.
and may not be highly discriminating with regard to how that happens.
Okay.
Perhaps more than anything, ENFPs fear boredom and stagnation. Even sleep can seem a bit too boring or mundane.
Yes, it can.
The minds of ENFPs can be can move at a frenetic pace. They can be restless, anxious, and plagued by erratic sleeping patterns. As with ENTPs, one can even observe this restlessness in ENFPs' eyes, which are often darting broadly from one side to another, as though searching for something in their surroundings.
Am I searching?
No, you're focused on me.
Am I searching?
What they are actually searching for, however, is more mental in nature, such as words, ideas, or possibilities. ENFPs are constantly generating new ideas, associations, and quips. They can often seem random, scattered, distracted, and flighty, and rightly or not, are commonly diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. ENFPs are predominantly right-brain personality types, while the left side of the brain is concerned with order, control, and systemizing. The right brain is oriented to novelty, people, and emotions.
Okay.
The right brain is also more random or creative side, while the left hemisphere is concerned with analysis and predictability. ENFPs place high value on their personal experiences when it comes to discerning truth. Though not to the same extent as ESFPs, ENFPs, experiencing is believing. Because of the high value they place on their personal experiences, ENFPs may feel they cannot fully know themselves until they have tried just about everything. For this reason, ENFPs are quintessential seekers and dilettantes, wanting to experience as much of life and the world as is humanly possible. In many regards, the interests and aspirations of ENFPs are infinite. This can be nothing less than exhausting for those trying to stay apace with them. ENFPs are among the least judgmental and most inclusive of all types, both inwardly and outwardly. They are champions of diversity and multiculturalism.
Champions.
Their extroverted intuition allows them to readily see different points of view, while their introverted feeling supplies a sense of empathy and respect for individuality. They are connoisseurs of and participants in the arts and culture. They are commonly drawn to all sorts of creative endeavors. In particular, they often enjoy music, drama, and photography.
Oh, hey.
Those with sufficient mental focus can also make great writers, be it fiction or nonfiction. ENFPs are highly represented among journalists, excelling with both the written and spoken word. Career-wise, they're often drawn to ministry, counseling, or teaching. They love seeing and cultivating potential in others. While some ENFPs are content with working largely with ideas, others seek to combine this with action and adventure. Such individuals may take up work as missionaries, tour guides, or diplomats.
Okay. I could see that. I'd be a great tour guide. I would.
So, what do you think of that description?
That one. We'll go with that one.
So, you're an ENFP then?
I'm an ENFP, at least in this minute.
So, this is a rather interesting interview. I don't know what I'll call it. I don't know what I'm going to do for a title card.
Oh.
Because
INFP, ENFP, Gemini.
Well, maybe. But,
Metal horse.
for my interview with Sherry, I called it INTJ Interviews Female INTJ. For this one, it's going to be like, do I throw up an INFP and an ENFP in there? Or
EINFP. EIEIONFP.
So, all right then. So the conclusion is ENFP.
ENFP. We found ourselves today.
All right, excellent.
I am Gandalf, ENFP.
So then, we talked about astrology. We talked about hobbies.
We did.
We talked about relationships and friends.
We did.
And
my legs are falling asleep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is there anything else on this list you want to talk about? Cover?
Nah, I think we covered it. Oh, pets. I would like to get another pet. I just have Benny right now.
You're a chameleon.
Benny's my chameleon. Oh, I would like another cat. Unless I go to the shelter and there happens to be a dog. Or a hamster. Or a rabbit. Or a fish. Not that the fish would be at the shelter.
Okay then. Alright then. So, found ourselves today.
Yes,
Discussed a lot of topics.
We did.
So, we found your personality type. We
did.
talked about all these interesting things. You are Mango Malicious Mary, but an ENFP, not an INFP.
Mm-hmm.
ENFP Mary.
Yes.
That'll be very interesting for future videos.
ENFP.
Thanks for doing this.
You are welcome. No,
Yeah.
happy to help.
Yeah.
Happy to be interviewed on the floor with a space heater on poofs.
Yes. Yeah, and I hope this helps you guys out there in the wide world with personality typing, with your experience with it. I am Brian C. Lesh, the omni-genre writer and the INTJ extraordinaire. Thank you for being with us today.
Bye-bye.
Hey you guys, Brian C. Lesh. I'm back here with an afterthought. So, you guys saw the video. And during the interview, Mary and I were under the impression that she was an INFP. Towards the end of it, we thought she was an ENFP. However, after thinking about it some, doing a little bit of research, as well as talking to some other people in the MBTI community, it does seem much more likely that Mary actually is an INFP and not an ENFP. For starters, she's just kind of distant at times and doesn't really seem to engage all that often. Like some ENFPs I've met in my life, you engage with an ENFP, they engage back, or you reach out to them rather, and they engage back. INFPs, they're a little more like cats. They'll engage if they want to, but if they don't want to, screw you, So that is much more like Mary's personality. Therefore, despite the ending of the video, or the ending of the interview rather, yes, we said she's an ENFP, but no, she's probably an INFP. However, I can't really say one way or the other because, again, I don't really know other people's MBTIs all that well. I mostly focus on whether or not a person is introverted or extroverted. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What do you think? Is she an INFP or is she an ENFP? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you for your patronage.